Hey, if you're a dog owner in Fitchburg, this is for you. We're going to walk through exactly how to find a great local trainer, someone who can make life with your dog that much easier and more fun. Living here, you've got it all, right? One minute, you're on a quiet trail. The next, you're on a busy sidewalk. A well-trained dog can handle all of that with confidence, whether it's a walk along the Nashua River or a trip past the Upper Common. It's all about building a team that fits your life in this community. Okay, so here's our game plan. We'll start with what makes life in Fitchburg unique, then cover your training options, how to vet a professional, what to expect for costs, and wrap up with some local rules and resources. Simple as that. All right, first up, life in Fitchburg. Because let's be real, good training isn't some generic thing you can just pull off a shelf. It has to be designed for the world you and your dog actually navigate every single day. So, what does success actually look like here? For you, maybe it's just being able to walk down Main Street without your arm being pulled out of its socket. Or maybe it's getting your dog to greet neighbors politely in the hallway instead of going bonkers. It's about those real-world skills your dog needs to be a calm, safe citizen of Fitchburg. Okay, let's move on to your training options. There are a few different ways to go, so we'll break down the programs and methods to help you find what's best for your dog and what you want to achieve. You're going to hear this term a lot, and for good reason. Positive reinforcement. It's pretty much the gold standard now. It's a modern, science-backed method. So instead of using fear or punishment, it's all about rewarding the good stuff, the behavior you want to see more of. And honestly, it just works. Plus, it builds a way better, more trusting relationship with your dog. So you basically have two main choices, group classes or private lessons. Group classes, they're awesome for practicing around distractions, which, is pretty much all of city life. But private lessons, those are perfect for zeroing in on those at-home problems, like your dog jumping all over guests or barking at every leaf that blows by the window. And within those formats, trainers offer different programs. You've got puppy training to get them started right with socialization and potty training. Basic obedience is for your sit, stay, come, all the classics. Behavior modification helps with trickier stuff like fear or reactivity. And hey, if you're super busy, day training can be a fantastic way to speed things up. All right, this next part is big. With all the options out there, how do you actually pick a good, qualified professional? Knowing what to look for really can make or break your whole experience. I like to think of it as a simple three-step checklist. Number 1, review their credentials. Number 2, ask some key questions. And number 3, make sure they're creating a plan that's actually tailored to your dog, not just some cookie-cutter program. You're probably going to see a bunch of letters after a trainer's name. Let's make sense with them. If you see CPDTKA or KPA-CTP, that's a great sign. It means they have a solid, tested understanding of training. Now, if you're dealing with something more serious, like major fear or reactivity, you'll want to look for advanced certifications like a CBC-CKA or an IABC-CBC. If you only ask one question, make it this one. A good trainer will never give you a generic, one-size-fits-all answer. They should listen to what you're actually dealing with, the specifics of your life in Fitchburg, and then build a plan from there. Okay, let's talk money. We need to cover the practical side of things, right? Knowing the typical costs for training around Fitchburg and Worcester County will help you budget for what is, really, an important investment. So, for a single 1-hour private lesson, you can generally expect to pay somewhere in this range. Keep in mind, a lot of trainers offer packages, which is a great way to bring that per-session cost down a bit. This chart gives you a better sense of the bigger picture. For example, a 6-week puppy class, that'll probably be somewhere between $175 and $250 for the whole thing. A one-time behavior consult for a specific problem is usually in the $125 to $200 range. And then you have the more intensive options like board and trains, which can be anywhere from $1,800 to $3,500. All right, for our last section, let's bring this all back home. We need to talk about the local rules. And, just as important, the best places around town to actually practice all this new training. There are 3 big rules every Fitchburg dog owner needs to have on their radar. First, there's a leash law, so unless you're on your own private property, your dog needs to be on a leash. Second, once your dog is over 6 months old, they have to be licensed with the city. And third, by state law, you have to have proof of a current rabies vaccination. Pretty standard stuff. Seriously, think of the whole city as your training gym. Need to work on off-leash recall in a safe, fenced-in space? Crockerfield Dog Park is perfect for that. Want to practice loose leash walking with real-world distractions? Head over to the Riverfront Park. And if you just need a good place for a long, structured walk, the trails at Coggeshall Park or the North Central Pathway are just fantastic. When you find the right training, it really changes everything. It's not just about teaching sit and stay. It makes your dog more confident, it makes your bond stronger, and it just makes your day-to-day life so much better. Every walk, every time a guest comes over, every trip around town, it all becomes a more positive experience for both of you. We really hope this helps you find that perfect trainer and build an amazing life together with your dog right here in Fitchburg.